All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. It is 7:04. The first thing we need to do is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And then I'd like a motion to approve the workshop minutes from May 25th.
So moved.
Thank you. A second?
I second that.
Thank you, Declan. Any questions, discussion, edits? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We're going to shift the order of things just a little. We're actually going to start with an executive session. We have personnel matter to discuss. I'm targeting 15 minutes. So we are going to, oh wait, I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Thank you. A second?
I second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So we are now closed to go into executive session. We will be back in 15 minutes. All right. Now we need a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Thank you, Brent.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So we are out of executive session at 7:45. Okay, and now we are going to, now we go back to this. Okay, the first order of business is I would like to make a motion to hire Tyrone Lawson as a part-time police officer for the Village of Red Hook. Do I have a second?
I'd like to second.
Thank you. Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Tyrone, welcome to the Village of Red Hook and the Village of Red Hook Police Department. We're thrilled to have you. And just to put on record, Tyrone is joining us. He's 6 years in the Marines, currently lives in Saugerties, and has some formal training to complete, but will be with us towards the end of July. So welcome aboard. Happy to have you.
Congratulations.
All right, next piece of business, which is not formally on the agenda, but we have Sergeant Hildenbrand here. Like you to just spend a few minutes talking about, I know that at the Red Hook School Board meeting last week, there was discussion about just the safety in the school and making sure that everybody is well cared for, and I just want to give you the opportunity to say a few words about that.
Sure. Yeah, I apologize. Last week I wasn't able to be at the school board meeting. The next meeting I will be at. I did speak to Superintendent Warden regarding some questions that have come up regarding our school safety. I know she had spoken about a few things regarding that at the school board meeting. So I won't repeat a lot of things she said because her and I do meet about 5 days a week. We probably talk 3 or 4 times a day. Our involvement in the school is deep. A lot of people don't see that. It's just another part of our job that we do, but it's an important part. This goes back to 2012, 2013. Myself and our former Chief Jim Truitt took over the SRO program out of Red Hook Central School District. We started training faculty and preparing everybody just so our schools could be the safest around 2013. This goes back a lot of years. So this has been happening year after year. Just because we trained them once doesn't mean there's not other training and things that we discuss. Obviously, I'll be very frank. I've gotten some direct questions about what exactly our security is, and I know people want to know specific answers on that. But the things that we tactically have in place and that we have had in place for many, many years is not for public information. There's no one that would tell you their plan, tell you the safety things they have in place. I can assure you, I run this police department. I am in charge. I oversee all the school resource officer program. The school trusted me to have their security measures and their safety at best interest, and that is what I do. I live and breathe it. When we go home at night and people make dinner, people watch their shows, I think about school safety. I think about police officer safety. I think about our officers training to have the best people we can with the most current knowledge to treat people the right way. That is how I think about 24/7 for the last 16 and a half years. So I know it's easy for me to say because I have the information, but I can assure you we are, my officers are in our schools. We have been for a long time. I don't have a plan and all of a sudden react after something happens. I already have the plan in place. It is already set. My people are trained on it. They know the drill. They know exactly what they're supposed to do. A month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We have had our plans in place for many, many, many years. So when things, unfortunate and tragic incidents happen, you know, we all wish that they don't. I know our administration breathes easier because they know that we are very detailed in our schools. So with that said, is again, not getting into super detail about our tactical things that we have in place, but we work very hard with our school district, very hard with our administration, from every building principal to assistant superintendents to superintendents, down to teachers. I mean, you can follow up with it. I walk in the playgrounds all the way down to support staff who are outside in the playgrounds, and I talk to them. I ask them, hey, what do you see from your level? What do you think's missing? Educate me, maybe something I don't see. So I don't do that now. We've done that forever. So I talk to everybody from custodians, every single employee of that building I have spoken to. I think that's how you have a very clean and organized plan.
I just want to thank you. It's unfortunate that we have to even have this conversation, but I certainly appreciate the fact that you're all about the safety of our kids and our schools and all the people in it. Just want to give the board an opportunity if anyone has a comment or a question that they'd like to ask.
So real quick, I know I say I a lot, right? So just because we're in the conversation, because I'm the one sitting with the administration, you'll physically see me in the school, teachers see me in the school, but I have a really good crew of people that work with me at the police department. So it's not a one-person job. It is very difficult, and every single one of my employees care as much about the school as I do, because it's not an option. I don't give them the option to not be that way. The people that are in the school, they do see it. They might not know the specific details about it, and that's my job to do. But like I said, it takes a well-oiled machine to have things in order, and you have to take input from everybody. When you do that, you learn things, you see things that you might not have seen, and I think that's important. And that those are the ways that you keep people safe, and you have a good team because everybody's involved and people know what's going on.
Terrific. Okay, thank you very much. Really appreciate the time. Oops, hang on. There we go. Get us back.
Good night.
There we go. All right. All right. Now, the next item on the agenda is the building planning zoning fees. We have a proposal that was discussed at the workshop to increase our building planning fees. Declan, you want to take this one?
Sure. So the last time the fees were adjusted was 2018, and since then, I think there's been an increase in requests or applications and certifications, and the other is a lot of those applications and certifications have transitioned to digital submission, and so the printing costs for the village have increased a bit due to our, based on the way we file the applications and certificates. So Clark, our building inspector, has more visits to do, and we also have more office costs. So they've consulted some of the neighboring municipalities, Milan, Rhinebeck, there's another one, Tivoli, I think, and have adjusted their fees to match what our neighbors are doing.
Just a real quick question. So on this fee schedule, I'm looking at planning and zoning board actions. So I guess it's up to the chair to stipulate if there's an escrow required for some of these reviews. It's not mentioned on the fees, which it shouldn't be, but I'm just curious, is there like an asterisk maybe that could be placed on it at some point, or maybe that's just a responsibility of the chair to take it upon himself to take care of the escrow accounts for us.
So what you're suggesting is that we put a note somewhere on here that says
Escrow may be
required. I think that's an excellent idea. I would add that. Yes, I believe it's up to the chair to do that. However, it's really at the beginning when they're going to be on the agenda.
It's
that
just
you start
good.
to know. It's a
Yeah.
good idea. Yep.
Just so they're aware that there may be fees.
So then, do we
Well, what I'd,
back to the zoning board?
no, I think we can just say that we'd like to add an asterisk that says escrow may be required.
Approved with stipulation.
And I would like to make a motion that we accept these revised fee schedule.
So moved.
Great. Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Great. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you. And thank you, Declan,
Yes,
for jumping in
my pleasure.
and learning more about planning and zoning that you thought you needed to know. All right, given that we're already talking about planning and zoning, I think we have an addition to the agenda. We did make some zoning revisions earlier in the year. Turns out there were a few errors on the zoning map. And so we have corrected those errors. The parcel access numbers, they were the same number for multiple plots, which is wrong. And so we have corrected that. And we also took the opportunity to clarify one of the definitions that we have. One of the definitions, just to add a little bit more clarification to that definition, since it appears to have been a little confusing for some, so we clarified that. But the process is that we need to have a public hearing on all of this, and so the local law that would make this adjustment will be available on the website, and the revised zoning map, literally the only thing that is different on the map is that it corrects the errors of the incorrect tax parcel numbers. Otherwise, the map doesn't change. So with that, I'm going to make a resolution to establish a date for a public hearing regarding a local law to amend the official zoning map of the Village of Red Hook and define sales room or shops of a builder, contractor, or artisan. Whereas a proposed form of a local law entitled "A Local Law to Amend the Official Zoning Map of the Village of Red Hook and Define Sales Room or Shops of a Builder, Contractor, or Artisan," referred to as the proposed local law, has been submitted to the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Red Hook, listed as the board. And whereas the proposed local law would correct typographical errors on the zoning map with respect to certain tax parcel numbers and provide a definition for a use that is already permitted in the Gateway Business District. Whereas pursuant to Section 239M of the General Municipal Law, proposed amendments to the zoning law must be referred to the Department of Planning and Development for its review and report thereon. Whereas pursuant to 6 NYCRR 617.C26, routine or continuing agency administration and management, not including new programs or major reordering of priorities that may affect the environment, is a Type 2 action. And whereas, in accordance with the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SECRA, the board is required to determine the classification of the proposed project, and now therefore be it resolved by the board as follows: the adoption of the proposed local law as a Type 2 action under SECRA. The board shall hold a public hearing on July 11th, 2022 at 7 p.m. at the Village Hall, 7467 South Broadway. to hear all interested parties on said proposed local law, and the village clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish notice of said public hearing in the official newspapers of the village on or before July 1st, 2022, which is not less than 10 calendar days prior to the date of said public hearing. The village clerk is hereby authorized and directed to send a copy of the proposed local law together with a copy of the EAF to the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Development for a report and recommendation thereon pursuant to Section 239M of the General Municipal Law. The village clerk is hereby authorized and directed to send a copy of the proposed local law to the planning board for a report and recommendation thereon to be provided within 30 days of the referral. The village clerk is hereby authorized and directed to send a copy of the public hearing notice to the clerks of the adjacent municipalities. I don't think I need to read the certificate of recording officer, but I do need it is resolution number 9. And I need a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. A second?
Seconded.
Thank you, Declan. The only discussion that I would add is it has come to my attention that there is a section that talks about the minimum size for an apartment. In one place, it says 500 square feet, and in another, it says 600 square feet. And I think this is an opportunity to rectify that. So I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm getting into an area that I'm less comfortable with. Brent, do you remember which was the right one?
I believe it was 600 square feet.
That was my memory. So I'm going to ask that we just amend to clarify that apartment minimum size is 600 square feet.
And there's one more thing on the proposed local law. At the top, Village of Red Hook local law number 3, I believe it is, instead of C
Oh, yes,
of the year 2022.
correct.
So it's not.
It apparently will be 3 when it gets adopted.
Okay.
If something happens to slip through in between, which isn't likely, but that's it. Any other discussion?
So do we have a date?
So the public hearing is going to be our next board meeting, which is July 11th.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Sure. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much.
Who seconded this?
Declan. All right, after that, we have, okay, so our next thing is, we have an opportunity to, where is it? We have an opportunity to discuss whether or not we would like to declare support for the New York State Climate Action Council scoping plan. And I know I have this because I read through it earlier. And I can't find it.
Here we go.
Okay, oh, yes, I do have it. So this is an opportunity, this is a resolution that lays out the 2019 Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act, which is a state law, and it declares support for supporting the goals of the Climate Act. There are a number of resolutions associated with it. Have you all had a chance to look at this? I'm happy to read out the resolved if you'd like.
Yeah, no, I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so, resolve the Village of Red Hook supports the recommendations of the scoping plan to phase in code requirements for prohibiting on-site combustion of fossil fuels in new buildings over the 2024 to 2027 period. That would just be fossil fuels, right? Coal and natural gas and
Oil.
Oil, so not wood stoves, I would suppose. Not that wood stoves are great, like they have particulate matter and that's not particularly good for people's lungs. But it sounds like it's not a wood stove thing.
I
It's more of a
don't
fossil
believe,
thing.
I don't believe that wood stoves would be included,
Yeah.
because I don't think that the focus of the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act
Yeah.
focuses on wood stoves. I mean, this is our resolution. We can add
No, I
to
think
it if we want.
they did say fossil fuels, and so I
Yeah.
would assume that's fossilized. I missed that in my first read through. I was asking the question. I was like, oh, it's fossil fuels.
You
not
answered
just
your-
combustion.
You answered
Okay.
your own question.
There we go. All right.
That's good. Any other questions, thoughts? Our window of opportunity to do this prior to, they're asking for commentary prior to July 1. So we can take this up at the workshop if we want to, or we can take it up now.
Workshop's good.
Workshop sounds good? You'd like to discuss it at the workshop? All right. What I'd like to do is to make sure that it's on the website so that people can see it on the website. And if anyone has any comments or would like to share, that they should do that. And in the meantime, there's more information that I know that Jen has sent around to all of us that gives a lot more detail for anyone who would like to. So let's, so this will go on the workshop agenda, and that meeting is June 22nd. And that'll be here at Village Hall.
These are active links, so if people want to know the agenda, they can.
Ah, wonderful. So on the agenda for this evening, there's actually an active link. So if you go there online, you can click the NYS Climate Action Council scoping plan, and that will take you to a whole website that talks about all this.
That's very exciting, Jen.
Technology, you gotta love it. All right, and now we get into,
Do we need a vote on the resolution, or
well,
discuss at the workshop?
we could, if someone wanted to make a motion to pass it, we could do that now, or I was under the impression that we wanted to move that to the workshop, and we can certainly pass the resolution at the workshop.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay. That'll give us a little bit more of a chance to dig in a little bit more. Okay. Mr. Toll, our treasurer, you're up.
All right. I don't know if I need this, but
Oh, yeah, yes, sorry. I had crossed them out, but I brought them back in.
I'm gonna flip in one.
don't know if
Yep.
it works.
Thank you.
Does it? Maybe not.
A little bit.
A little bit?
No. I think you're.
I think if you
Okay.
keep talking, it gets better.
I can project my voice if I have to. The account balances as of the 31st of May, 2022, are as follows. General fund, $507,196.15. Water fund, $202,752.57. Trust and agency, $28,243.42. Sewer fund, $3,395.72.
Ray, sorry to interrupt you, but I think it's your microphone that's making the wavy noise. There we go. Try that. You're very focused on your numbers. It's good.
I'll repeat the sewer fund, $3,395.72. Hard scrabble, $10,820.65. Village green, $4,773.92. Health insurance, $1,096.18. Petty cash, $4.34. The reserve checking balances, fire department, $5,033.97. Police, $14,587. USDA, $134,050.20. Highway, $30,585.98. Snow reserve, $3,279.72. Tower reserve, $17,712.60. Unemployment, $4,544.44. Court reserve, $3,298.81. Office reserve, $972.59. The total monthly expenses for the month of May are as follows. General fund, $99,238.42. Water fund, $104,298.15. trust and agency, $1,352.02, and sewer, $218,659.52. That concludes the report for the month of May.
Thank you. I just have a question, the water fund monthly expenses. That's, is that particularly high because we transferred the water fund's share of insurance, both medical and...
For the last fiscal year, and that was in the order of $70,000.
And I take the opportunity to say we've already changed how we do that. We're having the water fund pay its share of the bill in the beginning so that we don't have to do a transfer at the end of the year. So,
Very good idea.
great. Any other questions? Do we need to accept the treasurer's report? A motion to accept the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Thank you. A second?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Thank you very much, Ray. All right, it's my turn. So I'm actually going to, yes, sorry. Mr. Technology is reminding me that.
That's a joke.
I'm going to take advantage of, I had crossed out budget adjustments, and I didn't mean to do that. Can you pass that real quickly? That's for you. We have not done this in the past, but we are shifting to making budget adjustments every month, as we know that they are coming, so that we don't have as many things to do at year end. I was going to have a very long list that was related to last fiscal year, but there's some things that are still changing, and so it just seemed prudent to wait until we have more of the rest of the last bits from last fiscal year. However, there are already two things, well, ultimately four things that I know are already off budget in the 2022-2023 year. As mentioned earlier, insurance, our general liability and other insurance coverage, not medical insurance, has come in. And we had budgeted the general fund portion of $45,500, and the general fund portion is actually $49,075. So I am proposing to you that we make a budget adjustment. That would be an increase of $3,575 and that is budget line item A 1910.4, which is called unallocated insurance. There was also, when the budget was being put together, our cleaning service was done by an internal employee, and it is now being done by an outside service. And so that shift didn't clearly make it into the budget. So the building per serve, which is, that's really a payroll piece, which is A 1620.1. We have a budget of $2,500, and we are not going to use that. So I am proposing we adjust that, reduce that to zero. The other piece that I want to reduce is A 3120.48, which is police storage. We have $3,000 in there, which reflects what we've done in the past, but we have since discovered that we have some storage items at Iron Mountain that we are down to a very small amount, and we will not be continuing with that. So we will not have that again. So I would like to reduce that budget now by $2,000, making it $1,000. And so for the cleaning, the A 1620.44, that is cleaning contract services. The budget is $1,000. I am proposing tonight that we increase that by $925, which is the remaining portion of what we are reducing the other two line items for, which takes us to a revised budget of $1,925. We will need to adjust that budget up, but I want to spend a little more time figuring out where that money should come from before we do it tonight. But this gets us through another 2 months before we need to make that adjustment. So I am proposing changing 4 line items. The budget of those four line items is $52,000. The adjustments net to zero, making the revised budget of these four line items also $52,000. I don't know if I can make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we make these budget adjustments.
Can I ask a question?
You may, of course.
What is Iron Mountain?
That's a storage facility.
Okay, and why is it that we have less? It's just that they aged out, or is it data? Or is it...
It's storage that we've had. Apparently, I believe we opened that account in 1995. So it's possible that we sent things over there and things had been destroyed over time, and folks kind of maybe forgot what we had over there. So
Got it. Okay.
this is why one asks questions about why are we, what is this, and why are we spending? And so, so it appears that we're at a point where we can close that account.
Well, that's nice that you found that, so. Okay, great.
So, I'm sorry, you might have already explained this. The numbers are even the numbers we're saving on storage and the building per serve and the additional expense to cleaning and unallocated insurance, but we're not certain yet, right, if we're going to...
There will be more adjustments.
Okay.
There will definitely be more adjustments. And the biggest difference,
In June, or just...
in today's meeting, no, this is what we need
This is what we've got
for
okay,
June.
So, and we're kind of square, right? Like, we're not, you know, it breaks even. in terms of
Yes,
expense.
because it needs to break even, because we are not, unless we have new revenue, we are not, that we didn't plan for.
Brilliant.
But again, this is, because you're on the newer side, you're not, in the past, we haven't done regular adjustments, and we need to be doing regular adjustments. It's also much easier to follow the budget.
So moving this money, we're like perfectly prepared to approve of the movements, right, in our budget?
Yes.
Okay.
We're in a position to move that, and then if we approve this, then Ray will make the adjustments in the budget, and then that will be our formal budget on each of these line items going forward.
Okay, great.
May I have a second for my motion?
Second.
Thank you, Brent. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great, thank you. So that's going to be a regular agenda item, is budget adjustments, because the budget, you know, we do our best to plan everything, and then life happens. All right, the next item that I have is the police report. I was so organized, and then, oh, there it is, okay. All right, so the police report for the month of May. There were 423 incidents, 316 of them were in the village of Red Hook, 103 were in the town of Red Hook, and 4 were in the village of Tivoli. There were 47 uniform traffic tickets, 34 of them in the village of Red Hook, including 1 parking ticket, and 13 in the town of Red Hook. There were 4 arrests, 2 in the village of Red Hook and 2 in the town of Red Hook. And tonight I am excited to tell you that I have a fire department report. I received the report for all of 2021, and I took it upon myself to try and get familiar with the different types of calls that the fire department makes. There are a variety of them, as you might imagine. There are ones that are straight out fires, cooking fire, brush fire, building fire. There's another category which is EMS. Then there's another assist invalid service call, person in distress. They have one they call a good intent call, where someone sees something that they think might not be right. Then there's smoke alarms, and then there's severe weathers. So in 2021, there was a total of 272 in the village. 197 of them were EMS calls. Alarms, there were 45. Assist invalid service call, person in distress, that was 12. A good intent call was, there were 8. And then there were 6 hazards, power line down, for example. And then there were 4 fires. That's in the village. Outside the village, there were 735 calls. 460 of them were EMS calls. 178 of them were alarms. 26 were fires. 30 were person in distress type call. There were 20 good intent calls, smoke scare, and then there were 19 hazards or hazardous condition, and then there were 2 related to extreme weather. So that is 2021. And what I have for 2022 is I have the first 3 months of 2022 for the village only, and that there have been 43 calls. 25 of them are EMS. What I'm seeing is that the EMS calls are the largest number. After that, there were 7 alarms. There were 6 person in distress, 4 smoke scare, good intent call, and then 1 hazardous condition. I do not have outside the village, but that I'm sure will come soon.
Can I ask, outside the village, how many fires there were overall?
There were, in 2021, there were 26.
26, thank you.
I have a copy of this if you'd like.
Great.
For all of you. And we've actually been waiting for these reports from the fire department, and so with that, the fire department and I will be getting together to review the contract and hopefully finalize that finally. They've had a tough road with their system. I don't envy them that issue. And that is all I have to report this evening. Now it is to Deputy Mayor Kowalczyk.
Thank you. I'd like to start with the Village Green Committee monthly report, the current balances and final report of fiscal year 2021-2022 of the Village Green Committee's related budget accounts are as follows. Community beautification, $896.21. Shade tree contractual, $2,500. And the Village Green checking account, $4,773.92. There were no Village Green Committee meetings held during the month of May. The Village Highway Department has prepared a list of trees to be pruned or removed. We're awaiting estimates right now on those. These trees included on the list may create hazardous conditions for vehicular or pedestrian safety. The Arbor Day Foundation and the New York State Urban Forestry Commission acknowledged the 20th anniversary of the Village of Red Hook's Tree City USA designation. The village received the commemorative 20th anniversary Tree City USA flag and a plaque to honor the village's achievements. The flag is currently flying on our flagpole on Prince Street. Residents and businesses interested in having a tree or trees planted on their adjacent right-of-way, volunteering for Planting Day, or making a contribution to support the Village Green Committee's various community beautification projects may contact David Pearson, the village clerk, or myself. The Village of Red Hook Highway Department monthly report for the month of May. The Village Highway Department is picking up brush every first and third Monday of the month, schedule and weather permitting. Residents are reminded to place lawn debris, leaves, and brush in separate piles, and please limit brush piles to 6 feet by 6 feet by 6 feet, with tree branches no larger than 6 inches in diameter. Brush that includes tree trunks, stumps, garbage, or construction material will not be picked up. Neighbors are encouraged to share a brush pile. This will make pickup easier and quicker. The Village Highway Department has received 3 estimates for a zero-turn lawnmower with a bag attachment to replace an existing zero-turn lawnmower. A Ferris number 15 by 361-inch 40 horsepower with a fast vac easy dump bagger was selected. The estimated price of $17,400 will be deducted from the fiscal year 2022-2023 general fund and water fund accounts. And I think we have the breakdown of that, which we'll
I have
go
on my
through,
desk upstairs.
which we'll go through with Ray, so he knows. And And also, the village received a memo from the New York State DOT outlining the balances of the Consolidated Local Street and Highway Improvement Program, or CHIPS. Also, the Pave New York funding and the Extreme Winter Recovery funding and rollover funds from previous state fiscal year. The Village of Red Hook has the following amounts available for use on June 30th, 2022. CHIPS, we have a balance of $110,057.70. The Pave New York apportionment, and including the rollover balance of $27,534.68, and the Extreme Winter Recovery Program, a balance of $43,653.44, gives us a total available balance of $181,245.82. The Highway Department is currently preparing a list of projects to be financed in whole or in part by the CHIPS, Pave New York, and the Extreme Winter Recovery fiscal year 2022-23 apportionment and rollover balances. Revenue from the sale of scrap metal was received on May 13th in the amount of $1,344. Total revenue generated from the sale of scrap metal in fiscal year 2021 through 22 is $6,943.95. Since inception of the scrap metal recycling program in September of 2007, $43,236.26 has been generated. I believe we only anticipated $2,000 in revenue this year, so we've exceeded that by almost $5,000. Proceeds from this program go toward the purchase of tools and equipment for the Village Highway, Water, and Material Management Department. Residents and businesses interested in donating scrap metal may contact the Village Highway Department at 758-8600 or the Village Clerk's office, and the Highway Department personnel will assist property owners by picking up scrap metal upon request. Red Hook Infrastructure and Intermunicipal Task Force monthly reports. The Red Hook Sewer Project meetings were held on May 13th and 27th in the Red Hook Village Building and via telephone conference calls. We have a meeting every other week with our Prime General, our Prime Electrical, and our engineers, and Karen and I both attend these meetings. It's pretty lengthy, and these will be available for review, as always, on our website. And I'll just go through maybe some of the highlights here. As of May 27th, our contractors had installed 1,577 feet of 1.5-inch laterals, 7,234 feet of the 2-inch force mains. No additional 3-inch or 6-inch were installed during that period. We've made progress on our site work at the treatment plant, and we are still awaiting permission from DOT to move forward with directional drilling under the routes. And I'll just give you a quick update of where we stand on the budget here too. For Carver Construction, which is our Prime General, this is as of May 30th. The pay up 5 to date, $1,932,970.72 has been spent. The contract sum is $6,797,145. The Prime Electrical Contractor, Sasto Contracting, as of May 24th, with their pay app number 4, they've been reimbursed $83,085. Their contract sum will be $441,947,000. And our engineers, CT Mail, for site inspection and administration, to date has spent $83,085. And the contract sum for their work during the construction phase is $441,947. The Village of Red Hook Water Distribution System Maintenance and Improvement Project.
Can I just interrupt
Sure.
because I'm very excited, but the wastewater treatment plant is primarily a package pre-made plant, and it is due to arrive before the end of June. So if you see the big trucks turning into Morgan's Way, that's probably the wastewater treatment plant.
June 23rd.
So
That's before the end of the month.
Yes.
that's where gray water would go from,
That's where
Yeah.
it's a treatment
The effluent.
plant. It'll
for the
be
sewage,
wastewater
not for sewage.
for sewer.
Okay.
So just to clarify, the word effluent is used for the liquid part, and so it is the liquid, you are correct, it is the liquid part that will go through the force mains. The solids stay in the tanks, and the tanks get pumped out on a periodic basis.
Okay.
And that will be the responsibility of the village.
So a truck would travel around and pump out the solids.
That's part of the operating and maintenance costs that is part of the project
Okay.
for the property owners involved in the sewer service area. So their fee is based on paying back the loans for construction, but also operating maintenance.
Okay. Does gray water run through a separate system? Like
Declan, you're probably not close enough to your microphone for
Oh,
people to hear
sorry.
you.
Does gray water run through a separate system? Or
We
like
don't have any
same-
gray water, so we have wastewater that comes through as a,
And
yeah.
that's
Gray, and when you
Gray
say,
water would be
Yeah.
through, it would come through the same septic tank, so that would be
Okay.
all mixed
It's all
in.
effluent.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Can I
So
just,
gray water would be your stuff from sinks and bathtubs and showers and.
Brent, while everyone's making comment, the Carver came in and put in two switch offs in my backyard in the last week, and I didn't get any notice ahead of time. And they didn't give any notice to the library either when they did the same over there. So just at the next Friday meeting, it was fine, and they did a great job, and I was very happy to have them there. But
So what did they install on your property?
two shutoffs, one that
Okay.
would shut off to our tank, and then the shutoff that would shut off to our neighbor's tank.
All right,
And they did a very neat job.
you just wanted notice prior?
And I want to make sure that the other customers are getting noticed, because it's a lot of construction happening in your.
All right. I know that you probably got the first one, but I don't know if they continue that, but they should. So I'll make a note.
They're great guys, and I went out and talked to them, and it was all friendly.
And they'll be on your property several other times too. So,
it's just a good point to remind them that they do need to be telling people in advance, certainly when it gets to be putting in the tanks.
Yeah.
That's a level of disruption that
They
it's helpful to be
didn't touch
prepared
any
for.
of my garden. I'm very happy. No plants were destroyed or anything, so they did a great job.
the Village of Red Hook Distribution System Maintenance and Improvement Project for Sewer and Water. Meetings were held on May 6th and 20th. We alternate the sewer and the maintenance distribution program every other week. We met this month on May 6th with Delaware Engineering. We looked at a lot of things, potential operation of the East Market Street former brush pile. We had 3 wells on there. We're just to confirm if they've been permanently filled in and shut off. We're looking at expanding and diversifying our well locations throughout the village and beyond. We reviewed and discussed the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Water Infrastructure Improvement Act grant, scope of work and priorities, which include at this point repainting the Tower Street elevated water storage tank, repairing the Red Hook Village, Red Hook Town interconnect on Willowbrook Lane, water plant and well field SCADA systems, which is the communication systems between the pumps and the wells and the storage units, upgrades and improvements and surge protections on that system, water main to individual property, water service line goosenecks, identification and replacement on Cherry Street, The whole purpose of the WIA grant that we received, it was for PFOA, PFOS, and lead remediation. Leak repairs or water main replacements as identified by New England Leak Detection of the Southeast Quadrant. We've gone through the list of water leaks and repairs to be financed through the Village Water Fund. Meters and meter head replacements to be include all compound meters, which are approximately 12 and 10 Badger meter E-Series meter heads. This should come from the USDA 2022-23 USDA RD short-lived asset reserve account. There's a lot of work, so there's still a lot of information here. I won't go through all of it, but it will be available on the website to further discuss. The mayor and I also met on May 20th with the town of Red Hook supervisor and a Red Hook town councilman, Robert McKeon and Bill Hamill. And we just discussed water that could be supplied by the village to the town's traditional neighborhood district. A Red Hook town water district may be planned for a distribution system and available future water supply from the village. We discussed rates, and we also discussed the referendum procedures necessary to create a Red Hook town or a Dutchess County Water and Wastewater Authority water district and a Red Hook town sewer district or a Park County sewer district. There was some discussion about amending the village's general business district use charts and establishing a date for a follow-up meeting to include each municipality's engineers. On the task force side, Charlie Lang and I both sit on the task force, and there were no task force meetings held during the month of May. My last report, shared services, there were no meetings of the Town of Red Hook Zoning Review Committee or the Community Preservation Fund Advisory Board. The current balance, however, of the Community Preservation Fund as of May 31st, 2022 is $2,851,193.14. There were no Northern Dutchess Alliance Executive Committees or Saltkill Watershed Community meetings. The Town of Red Hook Local Waterfront Revitalization Program Working Group, we had no meetings during the month of May, and we are making up for it in the month of June. In the Village of Red Hook Zoning Review Committee, there were no meetings held there. This was a quiet month. The Village of Red Hook Public Spaces Initiative, Declan and I both co-chair, and you'll be writing the report next month.
Yeah, sorry about that, Brett.
The opening event of the PSI, or the Public Spaces Initiative's Pollinator Gardens project, occurred on Saturday, May 26th at the Red Hook Community Center. Materials and instructions for establishing a pollinator garden on your own property were available. Seeds were provided by Seed Common. Kids craft activities including shoving leopard farm, seed ball, and docents from the Old Dutch Village Garden Club attended to answer questions and offer suggestions. Live music was performed at the opening by local musicians. There was a Sun Common Volunteer Day on Friday, May 13th. Volunteers planted small shrubberies in a pollinator garden along the western side of the Solar CSA located in the Red Hook Village well fields on Firehouse Lane. The PSA will be working on expanding pollinator gardens to include locations at the Red Hook Municipal Parking Lot and other projects including The Place and developing plans and programming for the Richard M. Abrahams Memorial Park are forthcoming. That is it.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
The Sun Common Volunteer Day, how was that broadcast? Like,
I was.
I'm not sure that it really was. It was intended, I believe, for Sun Common employees.
got it, okay.
So there was a small group of people who came on a Friday morning, and they planted a small plot. This is reminding me to go check and see if anyone's followed up to water it.
Got it.
Yeah, this was for Sun Common, and they brought in a couple porta potties. And
Okay, that makes sense. And then also the place, what is that?
That I don't know.
Okay. It sounds very,
It sounds good,
yes.
Let's,
Maybe we can challenge Declan to figure out what the
but
place is,
we'll
right?
find out more next week.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'll interrogate
means-
you, Declan, next
We'll
time.
have to tune in next time to find out.
Okay,
It's a thriller.
yeah.
All right, Trustee Lang is not here, and so I will read his reports, assuming that I am able to do that. I'm going to start with the Resource Recovery Data Report. And looking at the month of May, that's this year. That's last year. Okay, we had commingled 0.93 tons, cardboard 0.59, paper 1.51, for total recycling of 3.03 tons. We had 8.11 tons of garbage. It looks like we had no contaminated recycling, so thank you to everyone who is recycling. You're doing it well. Thank you also to Mel Corca for the wonderful recycling calendar and beautifully graphic information on what you can and can't recycle. And thank you to the Highway Department for auditing. Ah, yes, of course, and for doing all the pickup that they do every Monday morning. So there was a total revenue of $3,429. That's probably related to garbage tag somewhere in there. Oh, yes, there it is, sorry. That's garbage tags, yes, okay. Yes, tags sold, sorry. $3,000, $3,429 of garbage tags sold. That's actually where we've had a good couple of months on that, so that's terrific. The next report we have is related to the water treatment facilities, the monthly report. We treated 7,274,000 total gallons, which is an average of 234,600 gallons per day. That is actually down slightly from the month before, which I know that Jen, our clerk, as well as Fernando Donga, who's our water operator, along with our water department, our highway department, have been working very hard to improve our water meters, our readings, discover leaks, fix them, and so it does appear that we are making some headway there. During the month of May, the water treatment plant used 75 gallons of sodium hyperchlorite, which is an average daily use of 2.41 gallons per day. There is a microbiological sample results. All of the results are within the, what's that? They're all negative. Yes, they're all good. The answer is good. And then the last bit is related to the system, the water system. All monthly coliform tests were completed with no presence of coliform or E. coli. Special samples, fourth quarter PFOA, PFOS, 1,4-dioxane testing completed and came back with satisfactory results. There's some deficiencies that are currently being worked on. And then there are other deficiencies listed that will be addressed with the WIA grant that we just received. Just to be clear, the WIA grant, there's a fair amount of paperwork and getting prepared, so the actual work, it'll be several months before we get to that, but we are in process. And then the wastewater system, we do have the Red Hook Commons wastewater treatment plant. We now own and operate, and there are a few items there that are in need of repair. Some parts are on order, and others we need to come up with some funding for fixing those items. But that is it for the For the,
It's kind of good to see
Materials
that for the one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the last 7 months, we've been hanging steady on our number of gallons treated at the plant. So either indicates that we're being good and no leaks, or they just kind of leveled off. And so there's a lot of coordination between the billing and what we're pumping and everything else. But just from this chart here, it looks pretty steady.
well, and also in going back to your report about having looked at the remaining leaks that we are aware of, those we've gone through, and we have a plan to take a look at those and have those fixed this summer. So all good work happening there. And that is all that I believe that I have to report, which leads us to Trustee Caraval.
Okay, so Red Hook Together's monthly meeting was held on Thursday, June 2nd at 12 noon. The June meeting prompt was, "What does a healthy community mean to me?" We were then prompted to ask how we can make Red Hook a healthier community in regards to the following category umbrellas: physical and mental well-being, economic development, infrastructure, and belonging. The many ideas and concerns raised will be brought back as in-depth discussion topics for future meetings. If you'd like to attend a Red Hook Together session or attend our August in-person meetup, please email me at mcaravel@redhooknyvillage.org. The Red Hook Town Economic Development Committee. The committee meets every Wednesday over Zoom at 8:30 a.m. They met this last month, May 4th, May 11th, 18th, 25th, and June 1st. The EDC continues to meet and interview prospective tenants of the village retail spaces. They have also been working with Bard CCE to get a summer intern who will be tasked with updating their business contact list. They also have revisited an earlier list of priorities in hopes of assigning some of those individual initiatives to members. EDC members Chris Close, Mayor Karen Smythe, and I plan on attending a Town Communications Committee meeting on June 13th to discuss if they have any ideas or proposals for the domain redhookhudsonvalley.com, currently owned and maintained by the EDC, as they are currently redesigning the town website. For further information, detailed minutes of the EDC meetings are available on the Town of Red Hook's website. And that meeting happened today, and it was informational, but nothing new to update. The Village of Red Hook Communications Committee. The committee meets every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. in Village Hall Conference Room. The mayor's newsletter went out to email inboxes on Tuesday, June 7th. We encourage anyone interested in receiving village updates to enroll online. You can subscribe by visiting redhookvillage.org/newsletter. We are continuing to update the website. In the last month, we have added a new online form in order to allow water customers to update their information easily via online form. If you have any ideas of website features you would like to see our communications committee investigate, please email me at mcaravel@redhooknyvillage.org. Village of Red Hook Hardscrabble and Events Committee. The RHPD's bike rodeo was a great success. Officers got to meet the public, and attendees were able to get bike repairs. Also this month, the PSI committee kicked off their pollinator project with an event at the community center. Plans for the village's 2022 Hardscrabble Music Festival are underway. Interested in helping out, have connections to a regional band that might be a good fit, contact Amy Melcorca, the mayor, or Jeff Walsh via the events committee email address, events@redhooknyvillage.org. Village of Red Hook Human Relations Committee. The Human Relations Committee meets the first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. over Zoom. If you wish to attend, please contact me at mcaravel@redhooknyvillage.org. We met May 12th and June 1st. We reviewed an incident that happened over Memorial Day weekend, and it prompted us to undertake developing an incident report form in order to create a record that we could keep on file. We are also working on developing ways to increase awareness with the public of what we do and how they can contact us should they need to. The Red Hook Public Library Report. The library's tax increase proposition passed, adding $34,000 to the yearly budget. The Red Hook Public Library signed a contract with MCT At Your Service Contractors, a Yonkers-based company, for the roof replacement. Bills will be paid with a line of credit loan from the Rhinebeck Bank and reimbursed via a Dutchess County APG infrastructure grant. The library will be closed for several days during this summer during the work. Also, not in my report, but added here, Director Dawn Jardine, Library Trustee Amy Husted, and Mayor Karen Smythe met on June 13th to discuss and explore funding options for issues with the building's stucco exterior. Discussed were legislative grants as well as bonding via DASNY. Follow-up conversations will continue to understand all the options. That's it.
Thank you very much. And now on to Trustee Dwyer McNulty.
Sure. This is the zoning and planning report. There were 9 building permits issued, 0 certificates of occupancy, 6 certificates of compliance, and there were 3 complaints to the building inspector. Planning board actions, they met May 12th, and they tabled the site plan for 3 John Street until June 9th. I don't know what came of that meeting. And they tabled the site plan for 7392 South Broadway until May 19th, 2022, but perhaps they actually tabled it until June 19th.
No, actually, if you look just below in your report there, May 19.
Thank you. It was approved. I suppose May 19th they met and they approved the site plan for 7392 South Broadway. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Zoning Board of Appeals, there was an application for 60 East Market Street. And that was submitted for the May 26th meeting. And that application has been tabled until June 23rd. That's... the building department, let's see, altogether for fire inspections and building permits, the building department received $1,128.75 in the month of May.
Great.
Great.
Thank you very much.
And so as of tomorrow, did the new fee structure go into effect?
It's a good question.
To be honest, but you probably should. I think we need to approve the minutes. Do you not, before that goes into effect?
No, I wouldn't think that's the case.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll check with council, but I would assume that it goes into effect tomorrow. I mean, we've approved it tonight.
Okay.
Right. That's got to be the date.
I think it would be effective tomorrow. Yep. We are now on to general business, and I have something I would like to share. It was in my mayor's newsletter, but I want to take the opportunity. Come on, where'd it go? I had it all lined up. I wanted to take the opportunity to congratulate one Cassandra Coleman because she received the Jim Hare Memorial Scholarship from the Old Rhinebeck Aerodrome Organization at their recent Soaring 20s Gala. And you can find more information about this scholarship, but it is about supporting and embracing your community, and Cassie really does embody the spirit of this scholarship in so many ways. So, and for those of you who can't see her, she's the one behind the building who is allowing us to actually have this meeting hybrid. So, congratulations. And part of the scholarship, it goes to someone who's going on to college, and we know that Cassie is going on to college. I'm excited to announce she's going to a small, not particularly well-known college in Rhode Island that might be called Brown University. So congratulations. Any other general business? Hearing none. Public comment. I don't see any public here to comment. Unless you'd like to comment, Cassie?
Thank you for the news now.
We've done our executive session. No further business. Deputy Mayor, might you have a motion to make?
I do. I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn this evening's meeting, June 13th, 2022.
Is there a second?
No.
Oh, yes, you're absolutely correct. And I even have it written in big letters. So we're gonna hold off on that motion, and we are going to motion to pay bills after audit. May I get a motion to do that?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
I second that.
Thank you, Declan. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, that was your test. One day I'll actually pass it.
Motion was made. We're waiting.
Yes, I didn't hear a second for the motion to adjourn, however.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.